to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot organize it. We cannot mold it. Also, we cannot know it at the stage when we are human beings. With human awareness, we cannot know it. So we have to become a superhuman being, a higher personality. What is said that you have to be the spirit. You have to be the self. In all the scriptures, in all the religion, it has been said that you have to be the spirit. And when we see the turmoil and the problems of the world that are completely show us clearly that there is so much of a mess, and most of them are the problems created by human beings, we have to do some introspection and some soul searching. And we have to find out, after all, why. Why we human beings have created all these problems for ourselves. We have had philosophies, we have ideologies, we have so many kinds of enterprises, but despite that, there are so many differences, and the differences are having larger and larger gaps. If it is the truth, it has to be the truth for everyone. Everyone has to say, this is the truth. But it has to be the absolute truth. If it is not the absolute truth, then what we believe into is not the reality. And this is the main reason why everything in the name of God, divinity, everything has failed so far, because it is not substantiated by reality. First we must feel the reality. And what is the reality? And what is the truth? The truth is that you are the spirit. You are the pure spirit. And that there is all-pervading power of divine love, which does all living work. Now we see all these beautiful flowers, beautifully arranged, everything. But we never think how so many flowers have come out of one seed, how it has worked. This living work is done by whom? We'll say the Mother Earth, but Mother Earth seems to be a jad thing, it's just a thing that is just a matter. Then how these flowers have sprouted from a little seed? Who has done this work? We don't even think who has done the job of making us human beings from amoeba stage. So for a hypothesis, let us think there is something, some power that is doing it. As scientists, you must keep your minds open. There's no use having blind faith in me, in Sahaja Yoga, in anything. Because blindness will never give you reality. But you should be open, like scientists are, and whatever hypothesis I am putting before you, you have to feel it on your central nervous system. This is what is the Bodha, is what is Buddha preached about, that you have to feel the all-pervading power on your central nervous system. And the time has come. Time has come for all of you to feel that. You all can feel that all-pervading power, the power of the Holy Ghost, power of the primordial mother. And then once you are in connection with that, like this instrument, when it is connected to the mains, it has a meaning. Your self-knowledge will tell you what is the meaning of your life. Otherwise, there is no meaning. We are without any connections to the reality, and that's why we do not know where are we drifting, what is happening to us, where are we going. Now I verily say to you that within us lies this instrument. And this instrument is very well intact in all of you. Now there are some people who have written books after books which have really shocked me, saying that it's very dangerous to raise the Kundalini. Some people have said that Kundalini is in the stomach. Shows they are unauthorized people, or perhaps they do not want you to have your self-knowledge. They want to deviate you. Also you'll find people who will tell you that you should not do this Kundalini awakening and all that because very dangerous and this brings problem. Not at all. This Kundalini, which is in 3.5 coil, is an energy of pure desire within you. All other desires rise within us, and once we achieve them, we still are not satisfied. We are going from one desire to another. So the law of economics says that in general, desires are not satiable. So this is the only power which has to rise and give us that pure desire that once we achieve it or once we manifest it, then all the desires become absolutely of no value. Then this madness of desire goes away and we understand all these transitory things, all these pleasures of life with its full limitations. And we know how far to go with them. But first we must seek the eternal. We must seek this all-pervading power, which is very subtle and is all around us. But as human beings are, as you must have seen here also, on top of your head here is, on one side is the yellow ego, on the left side is your super ego, is your conditionings. We have so many conditionings in our mind. To say that I'm an Indian and you are British or you are this and you are that is a condition. God never created world like that. He created only one world. We have made it like this. This is the one world, this is another world, this is another nation. That's it. We human beings have done created problem for us. Of course, He did create rivers and mountains, and He did create different type of people. Otherwise, we all would have looked like some military junta. But no, He made us differently, to look different. That was His idea, to create beauty. While we have such conditionings, from the very childhood we have conditionings of this kind, then we think we are born in a particular religion. So that is one another horrible conditioning we have, that we are in this religion, so we must follow this religion. But in Sahaja, when you come, you will be amazed to see that those people who started all these religions are the real people. And once they started it, after some time it's drifted into something extremely nonsensical. And now running away from religion also, you cannot solve the problem, or running towards is just the same. So what is it that you have to go beyond all these conditionings that are there, and also beyond your ego? Now the ideas about ego are also prevalent, and people say that these are our karmas, we must suffer. I know of so many people who say that. Mother, what about karmas? Now the yellow stuff that you see there is the ego. It's the only human beings think that they have done some bad karmas or good karmas. Animals don't think. They are under the complete control of God. That's why they are called as pashu, means pash, completely controlled. A dog is a dog, a scorpion is a scorpion, and tiger is a tiger. They behave the way they are. But human beings are everything in them. You may find somebody as a very nice dog and suddenly becomes a snake. Now from where does it come in? It comes because still all these conditionings that are within us are built in, and then also this ego that has come into us that I am doing this work, I am doing that work. Now see, we have a beautiful hall, of course, to be appreciated very much, and we should say that it's a very good piece of art or whatever it is. But something like a tree was dead, so we have made this platform from dead to dead. We have done no living work whatsoever. We cannot do it. But when the Kundalini rises, you'll be surprised in many people who have problems on their centers, you can see with naked eyes the pulsation. Under your hand you can see the pulsation of the Kundalini rising, and you can feel the pulsation on top of your head here. And when the pulsation disappears, you feel the cool breeze coming out of your head, out of your own head. All these things are to be verified. There cannot be pretensions about it. Reality stands by itself. It does not need any support. So when all this happens to you, what you get? The self-knowledge. And what is the self-knowledge? Is to, first of all, to know about your own centers. Now a person gets lunatic without knowing that he is getting lunatic. A person gets cancer without knowing he is getting cancer. Whatever happens to him, he does not know what is happening to him. He has to go to doctor, spend a lot of money, everything, and then the doctor certifies, no, you have these 10 diseases in you. And that now you'll die after 1 month or so. You don't know how it has developed in you, how it has come suddenly to you. But when these centers are out of gear, then you feel this is wrong with you, that is wrong with you. Because you are realized soul, and you can feel it on your fingertips when the centers tell you that this is wrong with you. This is not only on physical side. Physical side is the minimum that you get. But you find out about emotional side. You find out about your spiritual side also. Very clearly that spiritually where I am. Just to certify yourself that we are twice born people, or we are this and this, is misleading yourself. You have not been kind to yourself, I should say, and not honest to yourself. We have to be honest. We have to find the truth, and we have to get to it, because it is our own. This is our right to have it as human beings, and you cannot pay for it. One thing, if you understand you cannot pay for it, you will understand what is reality. Like the seed you plant in the Mother Earth, how much do we pay to Mother Earth? How much did we pay to Christ? How much did we pay to Rama or Krishna? To any one of them, how much did we pay? But those who are now commercialized all these ideas, we are just getting lost into it. So we have to little bit have a soul searching and find out, where am I? I have to find the truth. And I must get to it. This is the time that the whole world has to emancipate. This is the resurrection time. Or we can call it, this is the last judgment. But you will be judged by your own Kundalini, who is your mother. She doesn't trouble you. When you were born, your mother took up all the trouble, all the labor pains upon herself. she didn't trouble you. In the same way, this Kundalini doesn't trouble you. And she's anxiously waiting. I'm myself amazed the way these days the Kundalini is rising. Of course, today we have so many people, I'm sure you all will get realization. But in a place like Paris, where I never had such hopes, 1,000 people getting realization, I was amazed at that. And all of them full of joy, laughing. I've never seen French women laughing that much. They've never laughed normally. And I was amazed that all their cheeks were up there, up to their eyes. And I said, what's the matter? They said, but I don't know from where this joy is pouring. That's the quality of the spirit, that you start feeling so joyous. And the joy doesn't have the duality of happiness and unhappiness. It's singular. You just feel it from within yourself. You enjoy yourself. Please, after. Alright? Is he a Sahaja? You're not a Sahaja, then please don't take my photographs. Alright? Please. So, then another quality of the spirit is that when it comes into our attention, the light of the spirit comes into our attention. Like supposing this room is completely dark. We don't know how we relate to each other, where we are sitting. If we start walking, we might tumble over other people, we may try to trample some people. But if there is light, you see, you know where you are sitting, where others are sitting, what is your chair, what is their chair. So in that light of spirit, you develop a new awareness, a new dimension, which we call as collective consciousness, which is described by Jung very clearly. Jung has talked about this. And that is what happens to you. It is not a false thing that, oh, I am collectively conscious. No, it happens to you. Means you can feel the chakras of another person, you can feel what's wrong with him, and you know how to correct it. Under your hand itself, the Kundalini will rise. You get the powers. You get your own powers to raise the Kundalini and give realization. I mean, now I cannot go all over the places. Sahaja-yogis are doing this work. You all get those powers of raising the Kundalini and giving realizations to others so that they find their own self, their own spirit. So the absolute knowledge can be only known through self-realization, because whatever you want to ask, like a computer, the answer comes. There is somebody who met me in Paris. He said, I don't believe in God. I said, all right, you ask a question to me. Mother, is there God? Stretch the hand towards me. Ask the question 3 times. Mother, what's happening? This food is coming. As the answer has come, there is God. So absolute knowledge is only possible when you know the absolute truth. And to have the absolute truth, you have to go to the absolute being within you, which is your spirit. So it gives you the truth, it gives you the collective consciousness. But the main thing is that you become extremely peaceful personality. You become peace. You emit peace. It's like the wheel. That the wheel at the periphery is moving very fast. But in the center of the wheel is the axis. It has to be silent. Otherwise, cart won't move. And you jump onto that point within yourself where you are completely peaceful with yourself, completely integrated. Without any tension, without any problems. And these other ideas of removing tensions, this thing, that thing, are all artificial and mental. It cannot be mental. It is beyond mental. When the Kundalini rises, as you see there, this is the center in the optic chiasma, Agya Chakra. When it crosses that center, then these 2 institutions are sucked in. And she passes through the limbic area and comes out of your fontanelle bone area, which is the actualization of your realization. Also in India they call it Brahma Sambandha and other, but all kinds of nonsense has been done in that name, everywhere, in every religion. So now for it is absolutely evident for people to see that we have to get to that stage. And you have all the properties, all the possibilities, everything within yourself to get to. Today there are so many people and they have already told you a lot about it, and you can also read about it. I mean, this all knowledge is endless. I think in English language itself I must have spoken at least 4,000 tapes must be there, which you can always get and listen to them. But first thing is that, like this room has got all these lights and everything. And when we come in, they say, all right, put on this. Within you. Better have the light. And this is what I say, that you have your light. You can always have it, but be confident. Be confident. Don't believe when people tell you are sinners. They must be the greatest sinners. Don't believe people when they tell you to be guilty. Absolutely. And then I'm sure it will work out tonight. But in any case, I would like to give some time for questions. Few questions, not many, but not aggressive questions, because I have not come here to ask for votes. I am not a politician. I have come to give you what you have. So ask questions which are relevant and sensible. I'll answer them. I would love to answer them, because at the time when we start our realization process, I do not want suddenly this mind of yours just coming out like a jack in the box and asking, oh, you should have asked this question. So now please, ask relevant questions. Let's see, English are known for their scholarship, and I would like to know how they are and what questions they have. I'd love to. After that, we'll have a session of realization for about 10 minutes only. But I would love people to ask me questions. I'll be very happy if they can ask relevant questions. There's nothing to be afraid of me. Can't understand.
Stay with power, with the mala, magic, whatever. But I don't achieve that. Is it not magic?
All right. You see, we don't use any one of these practices. These are all mental feats. No, it's not necessary. I know what is necessary, all right? You leave it to me. Thank you. Whether you are Western people or Eastern people, you don't have different type of brains, do you? You laugh the same way, you smile the same way, cry the same way. These are wrong ideas to think that you are different and that you need all kinds of befooling. I don't believe in that. All right, you should. All right. Mm. Ah. All right, sit down. Now, please be seated, I'll tell you. Now, this is his own idea. That you must purify yourself, you must stand on your heads, you must go to Himalayas and kill yourself, suffer, this, that. Not mine. In these modern times, when the life is a strife, and in those days only this had to happen. It's predicted. So, of course, I must say that I have found out a method by which you don't have to do anything like that. First, just the Kundalini has to rise through the Brahma Nadi. It's the very subtle Nadi inside. Few threads of Kundalini has to rise, that's all. That's all I have to manage. And when she pierces through, then gradually everything, your sympathetic nervous system gets settled. And then your center starts opening more. And more Kundalini rises. Now this gentleman is talking about the time about 13 to 14,000 years back. As you have got now jets, and you've got spacecrafts going to moon, we have to believe. Like my grandmother never believed that we could go to moon. But now we can. It has to be this way. There must be, of course, something about me, but it is working out. So what's the use of saying, how can it be? Why not? Supposing I say there's a diamond for you. It's free. Have it. Please don't. Please. Who is this gentleman? Please don't. You can't take my photographs, sir. You have no authority. Is he what? Are you from the newspaper? Then why are you taking? Let him. All right? So, the simple thing is to understand that the divine power itself is anxious to give you realization. Cleansing of the mind, how will you do? With your ego only? On the mental level? I'm cleansing my mind. Who is this I? Is your ego, because you are not yet the spirit. But after realization, the cleansing becomes so much easier. It's like simple thing like this. Supposing you are holding a snake in your hand. And there's complete ignorance and darkness, and I tell you there's a snake in your hand. You may not believe me, you may say this is just a rope. But if little light also comes in and you see the snake, you'll drop it. And this is what is today's search over. I don't say these things were not correct at that time, but today it is not necessary. For me, you are all pure people, that's all. I do not say anything wrong with you. What's he saying?
He's asking, does self-realization transcend discrimination?
No, not at all. On the contrary, you get divine discrimination. This discrimination is conditioned one. Human discrimination is conditioned, is not divine, is not absolute. For example, a one man comes, say from jail, and wears a saffron clothes and say, I am your guru. How will you make him out that he is coming from jail or not? You can't. And so many have come like that. This gives you absolute discrimination. Absolute. Yes. What's he saying?
Saying the view of the Sahaja that is the only solution for the emancipation of humanity. He's asking me, is it just one path?
Yes, there's only one path, my child, I'm sorry to say. Only one. Sahaja means, Saha means with, Ja means born. Born with you is the right to have the yoga, means union with the divine power. And the only way is the awakening of the Kundalini. You try anything else, it's not so. The Kundalini has to rise. It has to rise and it has to connect you to this all-pervading power. There's no other way out. All of them have said the same thing. But they didn't do this mass realization business. That's for me to do. But they talked about the same thing. Yes, my child. I know. This shows that you are a seeker. You've been seeking. And I'm sorry you did not find it because they cannot do it. None of them. I don't want to go into controversies, but people have been harmed by them, and I have been very much upset with the idea that in the name of God and divine, all these tricks have been played. So only thing I have to request you, forget them altogether. You have to become your own master. You have to become yourself the guru of your own. You have to know yourself by your own light. Don't have to follow any one of them like that, blindly. Another thing you must know by reading, where can you go? Reading makes you just a bookworm, that's all. Many people believe that by reading books you'll reach God. But surprisingly, none of the saints, none of the incarnations were ever educated. They never went to any university, Oxford or Cambridge. It's not the reading, it's the experiencing is the point. All right? Let it be. Because of these people, you'll ask me 100 questions, you'll reach nowhere. So better try for your realization. When you read so much, it's all in your head and it will be all coming out. So it's better that you stop your mind and please get your realization. I would advise that. But that's then to know, because if you have read so many people, I'm surprised till you are sane. Normally people cannot be sane with reading all that. Really. Because people have come to be like this, they're all half mad. They'll go on asking questions after questions, and they take years to get realization. So what good have they done to these people? Is to spoil their kundalini, spoil their chakras. Yes, please. What is it? Yeah. So, it's true. But you must have a Sadguru. And find out a Sadguru. Your mother can be your Sadguru and I could be your Sadguru too. Why not me? But it has led us nowhere. Yes, correct, I know all that. But what I'm trying to tell you, those who have talked about Sadguru have talked not about agurus and kugurus. How will you discriminate? How will you know that who is a real guru, who is not a real guru? No, I'll tell you, sit down, I'll tell you. The best way to find out. First, you find out how are the disciples of that guru are. I call them as my children, all right, Sahaja, these are my children. But actually, if you see, I am their mother, but mother is the guru also. And you see what they are, what they have achieved. You go to all these people and find out what their disciples have achieved. First thing you must find out, are they righteous people? They follow any religion, they may read any book, they may read Gita, they may read this, that and that and that. But they can commit any sins. Is there any regulating force on them? But I can say Sahajogis cannot commit sin. They cannot. They are righteous people. They are honest. They are compassionate. They are dynamic. You must first see how the disciples are. These are the days of Bhranti, of hallucination. And in these conditions of confusion, you must keep one thing in mind, that you must find out what sort of disciples this particular guru has. What have they achieved? What is their private life? How do they live? Then you will know who is the Sadguru. But better to have a mother as a guru than to have a Sadguru also. Because they are very hard people. I know them. So mother will look after you better. She has much more patience. And what I say, the mother wants her children to become gurus. All right? You are an Indian, you understand a motherhood better than anybody else, isn't it? So first of all, must understand that a guru has to give you the experience of the divine. Sadguru wahi, jo sahib mili hai. The one who makes you meet the sahib means God. That's the only Sadguru. All the rest of the nonsense is you read this book, you read that book, you say this mantra, do this thing, do that. What is it? You are not fair to yourself. Just think, what did you get? Did you get the experience of self-realization? No. All right, then have it. If it is so simple, it is so easy, why not have it? After all, everybody is telling you that you have your self-realization. Then we'll see about Guru. First of all, you have your self-realization. I would even say that, why should you accept me? You shouldn't. Unless and until you have got realization from me and you are settled down in realization, I don't want you to accept me as even Guru or anything. But first have your self-realization. These are modern times. In modern times, it's such a confusion that you should not accept anything blindfolded. If you do it, you are in trouble. So use your logic and understanding. That's very important. Are you a journalist? then don't ask me that question. You don't ask me any questions about me, and I will not tell you. Christ told that he was the Son of Father and they crucified him. I don't want to get crucified. I have to do a lot of work. You find out when you get your experience of your spirit, you'll find out about me. Before that, I will not tell you anything. They may send anything. You don't believe it. I'm not saying you believe. It is their belief. I don't know what they have written. I have not even seen it. Whatever they have written, that is their belief. That is what they believe into. They have found out, and it is their factual understanding. It's the truth for them. All right. But you don't believe in it. I'm not saying you believe in it. But you get your realization. And then can't hear her at all. Just come in, doctor. Very sweet of you. That shows a real seeker. If you are hungry, you'll ask for food, isn't it? You won't ask me how I have cooked it. I'm not going to talk about me, but yours I will show you. All right, about yourself. Then you will know there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. You'll feel the cool breeze all around you. You'll become peaceful, thoughtless. And then, when you start using it, you'll be amazed how powerful you have become that you can raise the Kundalini of others. All right? Yes, of course. Through the parasympathetic nervous system it rises, and parasympathetic nervous system is enlightened too. Then it acts also on all our systems. It's not only physical, it's action also on mental and also beyond on our spiritual being. It has much more work to do than only a doctor. All right? Beg pardon? That's what I'm saying. No, first you get your realization. Alright? Then what happens? You get the light within yourself. And then you know what is moral and what is immoral. Like Christ took a hunter in his hand and started hitting people who are selling things near the church. Now normally that's a very bad thing to do, normally. But not for Christ. That was needed. He has the authority. Like all saints who are real saints, not certified ones, but real ones. They never did anything wrong. You just know it. In your evolutionary process, now you have become human beings. Now for an animal or a dog, anything, let's say a horse, you want to take him through a dirty lane, he'll just walk through, there's no problem. But human beings cannot walk through, they have to close their nose, they can't just bear the filth. Because they can feel the filth as human beings. But they cannot feel what is immoral is. Till they become the saints. What's it say?
It says, can't understand how you feel it.
I'll tell you. What happens that if you start doing or even thinking about something nonsensical, you feel it on your fingertips. You are doing wrong to begin with. Then later on you grow and you just know it. Just know it. But first you can feel it on fingertips. So what? It is not. It is subjective in the sense you are the subject and subject is the spirit. It's a subjective thing. But subjective which is used normally in English language, English language, has its own limitations. It's not a spiritual language. It's not. The subjective word you use, is a word which is not universal. It is arbitrary. Normally in English language you use the word subjective as an arbitrary, egocentric word. But subjective in Sanskrit language means the one who is the spirit. You are not yet a subjective person. You are with your ego, whatever you do. You call it as subjective. But what we say subjective is the spirit, which is a universal being. There's a difference between the two. But this difference in English language is not so clear-cut. Like, for example, spirit itself, you can call alcohol a spirit, you can call a dead spirit as a haunting spirit, you can call the Atma a spirit. So you see, that's the problem of the language. But subjective is not the way you understand it. It's not subjective, it's not egocentric, but it's spirit-centric, which is a collective being. You see, by mental feats you are not going to understand it. I'm very good at answering because, I'm quite clever, but that's not going to raise your kundalini. It's not a guarantee for that. You have to desire for the awakening of your kundalini than playing some mental feats. There's no use. It's not going to help you. It's beyond mind, I'm telling you. You have to go beyond mind. It's not a mental feat. We have had enough of it. Discussions, arguments, reading, this, that. It's finished. All right, you please get your realization. If you don't get realization, then I will say that you will have to come again for your realization. Because, the question is that by answering your question, nobody is going to be helped, neither you nor they. This has no meaning. You can never be satisfied. You can go on asking me 1,001 questions. No, but it has no meaning. No? It has no meaning. It has no meaning. I have told you already it is not subjective. Did you understand that point? You don't want to understand. You don't want to hear. You don't want to understand what I told you. It is spirit-oriented. It is not ego-oriented. Did you follow that point? Do you know what is spirit-oriented? Then all right. Then let us go to that point. Let us reach that state. Then we'll talk. Then you will not say all these things, I know. All right. What is that? I am not establishing anything. What is saying?
His experience is whether he believes that you are the guru.
What is it? You don't understand.
No, he's asking, will it affect his experience if he believes or not that you are the true guru?
It is true. You see, it is what I am saying. That if you are seeking, all right, sit down, please sit down. Please. Now take a very simple thing, very simple. If you are seeking the truth, if you are, first of all, if you think you have already found out, I cannot help you. But if you are seeking the truth, I say it is lying within you and the Kundalini has to be risen. And you have to get your realization. Simple thing as that. I am not going to write books. I have not yet written any book or anything because I know people get lost in the book. So first have the real experience. What Aurobindo has said, what this one has said, forget it. These are all things not to be discussed now. What you want now, you have had enough of it.
It says, can you raise her Kundalini now, please?
Yes, there are real seekers here. I know that there are so many who are real seekers. See, so you have read already quite a lot. Kabira has said, Padi Padi Pandita Murakha Bhai. When I was born, I read these lines. Padi Padi Pandita Murakha Bhai means by reading, even the wise have become stupid. I used to think, how can that be? By reading, how can anybody be stupid? But now I know what it is. You see, himself, Nanaka has said that, Kahe Nanak bina apa chinhe mite na brahma ki kahe. He said it. Unless and until you have experienced yourself, you cannot get rid of your confusion. Himself has said it. Now the people are reading that. Kahe Nanak bina apa chini. Kahe Nanak bina. This is like a prescription what they have given you. You are just reading the prescription. When are you going to take the medicine? I am saying take the medicine. You have come here for your self-realization, isn't it? Or for discussion. If you don't want your realization, I cannot give you. What is it? That we'll see later on. Be in the present. Already they are asking me about the past. We'll tell you what you do, what you become, and what you can do. Tremendous things. All right? That's a good idea, though. All right? And we have to achieve our self-realization is the point. Now those who do not want to have self-realization are welcome to go. We cannot force you. It cannot be forced. Can you force a seed to sprout? No. It cannot be forced. I respect your freedom. You have your freedom. If you want to follow some other person or anything you want to do, you are absolutely welcome to do that. There is no force that can be used, except for I have to give you just confidence, absolutely confidence, that you all can get your realization if you purely desire it. That's what I'm saying. Nobody has said that so far. Has anybody said that? If you don't want, I will not do it. Because God has given you freedom to choose. If you want, you can have it. If you don't want, you need not have it. I don't want to force it on you. It cannot be done. That's a built-in quality. You cannot force it because it's pure desire. And you have to rise into your total freedom. For to achieve total freedom, your freedom has to be respected. I cannot force things on you. You want me to force on you? I cannot. It cannot work out. It cannot work out. You have to ask for it. Now, we have finished with the questions, all right? If you have any questions, please write to me. They'll give you write to them and they'll let you know. So, It cannot be forced. First of all, understand. It cannot be forced. I respect your freedom. Not only me, but your Kundalini itself respects your own freedom. She won't try.